The flaw of most diets is that they only focus on calories. The think has always been if you're supposed to eat 2,000 calories and you consume 2,500, then you'll gain weight. Or if you only eat 1,500 calories, you lose weight. To make diets even more stressful is that they often recommending adding exercise. And just starting a diet can be stressful enough, but now you're supposed to drive your car so you can walk on a treadmill for an hour only to drive home? Yes, exercise is an essential part of an overall health regimen, but only your body and mind are up to the task. It takes an extensive amount of exercise to burn off even a tiny amount of calories. For example, a person will have to walk up all 102 flights of the Empire State Building in New York City just to burn off the 200 calories from eating a donut. So count your blessings instead of calories. Here's an example of how the standard diet approach fails. On the first day of the diet, John cooks himself a healthy breakfast before leaving for work. He has a quiet and productive morning and then has a nice, healthy salad for lunch that he brought from home. Everything's going great. But at 2 p.m., the peanut butter hits the fan when the boss comes running into the office and yells, "We need to have this project completed by 4:30 to send to the client, or else." This stressful experience causes his body to activate the flight or fight stress response. The body's stress response is designed to be started when faced with danger. But unfortunately, our brains cannot distinguish between a physical threat like being chased by a mean dog or an emotional threat like a hot-tempered boss. The survival part of our brain automatically hijacks control from the calm, rational part of the brain. It floods the bloodstream with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. In addition, cortisol mobilizes glucose, the body's primary energy source. This reaction causes a rise in the hormone insulin to move the glucose into the cells. Both cortisol and insulin are fat-storing hormones that undermine weight loss as long as that person stays stressed. Coupled with the stress response comes the craving for sweet, carb-heavy, fast, and junk food to replenish glucose stores. During a stress response, the brain will use an additional 12% of the body's glucose. When it comes down to food choices, after a stress response, to satisfy that body's craving caused by the stress, the person on a diet has to decide between snacking on a bowl of broccoli or French fries. In that case, the body will want the fries for quick glucose fuel and does not care about long-term health consequences like eating broccoli. Even the survival part of the brain is only concerned with getting you out of danger. The body's will to survive is a potent force, and when our brain senses you have just consumed something sweet and carb-heavy, it actually relaxes and takes away the cravings. All the more rewarding what you did to that stress response. And for those who are in a constant state of chronic stress, they repeat this scenario time and time again. This behavior creates unhealthy habits from repeated stress events. This coping mechanism becomes their go-to. A go-to is what you go to when you are stressed. Often unhealthy food choices, especially for those who are on a diet. The human body was only designed to be in a stress response for no more than 60 seconds. In that time, you either ran away from the threat or you fought the danger, resulting in one of you becoming lunch for the other. Most people fail at diets because they do not account for the stress in their lives that will often derail even the most motivated individual. So there are two important parts of the successful diet puzzle. Part one is stress prevention. This unique approach is what makes the stress-free diet so effective. People who follow the stress-free diet do not even count calories. Instead, they focus more on eliminating stress from their lives by turning off stress switches. A stress switch is a person, place, or thing that causes stress. The stress-free diet has identified over 100 of the most common stress switches. And the part two is the glycemic effect of food. Coupled with the elimination of stress, the glycemic effect of food is crucial. The glycemic effect is how blood sugar is affected by the food you eat. Example, 100 calories of broccoli will have a much less effect on your blood sugar than 100 calories of French fries, bagels, donuts, cookies. The higher the blood sugar response, the more insulin, a fat-storing hormone, is excreted from the pancreas. By not consuming high glycemic foods, coupled with time-restricted eating, or also known as intermittent fasting, this keeps a person's insulin levels low, so they will be in fat-burning mode versus fat-storing mode all day. This unique approach is what makes the stress-free diet so effective in losing weight and gaining vitality.